This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Scott David Clift joining us, our energy healer coach and integrator with Connexus Services. Excited he's back to talk more about the work he's doing and, of course, how he's helping so many people with his counseling services and so much more. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks, Jill. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Excited to have you back. For those that may not know, you're based out of Denver, right? Colorado?
Yep, Denver, Colorado.
But working virtually all over. What did you want to, share for today? Let's get your background first for those that may not know a little bit about you and the services that you provide as a licensed therapist and coach.
All right, thanks. So I am a energy healer, coach, and integrator, and what that means is I I'm a grown-up healer that has kind of meandered my way in my journey through many different ways of manifesting that, spending my 20s kind of in odd social service jobs, and then finally becoming a licensed clinician here in Colorado. And then that ultimately evolving into what I do now, which is kind of all encompassing of everything I've done, and it really works with the whole person, so body, mind, heart, and soul.
Oh my
And
goodness.
one of the things that I've learned and experienced and also gone through kind of challenges and struggles with is that my passion has always been for kind of a holistic or complete uh, healing, growth, and expansion. Recognizing that like all these different parts of us um, are all interconnected. So when we work on one part, it has implications for other parts of ourselves. And so how do we bring that all together?
Yeah. Well, thank you for being here and excited that you're back today to talk with us. And you want to continue a little bit about last week's conversation. Do you want to kind of just bring everyone up to speed what
Absolutely.
we were discussing?
Yeah, definitely. So in our last episode, I introduced this notion that our paradigm around forgiveness has been based in what I call the transactional paradigm. And that is where, basically I feel like you have taken my power or you have taken something from me and I need to get it back when there's been a violation, abandonment, or wound of some kind. And it's this paradigm that has actually kept us very trapped. So I talked a lot in depth last time about what the new paradigm can be, and shared a little bit of my personal story in that. And the place that I came to was this kind of discovery, this massive aha, whereby, I no longer feel in my experience of the things that I've carried with me for so long, or the people that have wounded me, people that have hurt me, that
Yeah.
I need to forgive them, or even that I can forgive myself.
Mm-hmm.
That forgiveness is this energy of release, and the power to create that release lives completely within every one of us and requires the involvement of no other human being. Um, and that's kind of where we wrapped up last time. And so I kind of wanted to follow back up and say that like as much as that power lives within all of us to accomplish that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I was very specific that it actually requires no other involvement of any other human being, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, however, it's not a process that we can achieve or accomplish simply and strictly in isolation or alone. And so today I'd like to kind of get into what I mean by that and what I was talking about. Um, we when something happens to us or when we feel a sense of distress, and this can be anything from like, a massive like catastrophe, natural disaster, or uh, in relationship, right? When we have our feelings hurt, or or we experience something more severe, like an abuse, or a mugging, or a rape, or uh, an abandonment, right? And whether that's from childhood or adulthood, it doesn't really matter, right? We experience these at the end of the day. as if something happened to me and now this energy I can't get rid of, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this energy that I can't get rid of is really the problem. Like all the stuff that we think about it, it's not really the problem. The problem is this energy. If I was somehow able to be free of this energy once and for all and done and out of me, right? Our world and our entire reality as we experience it would completely shift, right? We
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't we wouldn't recognize the world that we woke up to tomorrow if I wasn't carrying this energy inside of me somehow, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is so like in all my experience with people talking with people, thousands and thousands of different people over the years, this is the central thing that I've come to is that if this energy that I've been carrying with me, and sometimes I don't even know I've been carrying it, but I have this inkling, right? Or sometimes I'm not even aware of all the different ways that I show up to try and protect myself or try and get my needs met from others. Um, or maybe, maybe I give up and I go into isolation, but the energy's still inside of me.
Mm.
And if I could just extract that energy, right? Well, my gosh, I would wake up tomorrow, like I said, and it would be a whole different world, right?
Yeah, totally.
And and in some respects, we've all had this experience temporarily, right?
Mm-hmm.
And usually it amounts to some version of what we call falling in love,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah,
The
true.
problem is that and I'm not discounting falling in love. I've fallen in love so many times I can't even tell you, but the problem is that inevitably that's temporary, right? The honeymoon ends. And we're left having to go, wait a minute, I thought I had this story in my head that said when I met the perfect person or my kids got into the perfect college or I got the perfect job or if the world wasn't so fucked up,
Yeah.
uh, you know, I just jumped from my personal life to the global experience there, right?
Yeah.
But 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 it's always something that comes back in and there's a story that says if only this. But the real issue is this energy that I can't quite identify, and I sure can't figure out how to extract it out of me once and for all.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
thinking about
okay.
it in this respect, yeah, sorry, I was just taking a
No.
pause.
Okay.
Thinking about it as this energy that I've been carrying with me, right, gives us an avenue, Jill, to stop being distracted by all the thoughts in my head that say, it's about this, it's about you, it's about that, it's about this other thing, right? Now, that's work in and of itself to get to that point, to be able to recognize that, like, oh, you mean this energy in me isn't about my childhood completely? It's
Mm-hmm.
related,
Yeah.
right? But it's not the full picture.
Yeah.
Um, because the problem with just saying, you know, because this happened to me in my childhood, or because my partner did this to me last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Until they do something different, I
Okay.
can't get rid of this feeling, right? Well,
Uh-huh.
that just continually makes me a victim. That just continually into the future continues to create this story and this reality that says, until something outside of me changes, I'm stuck with this energy,
Yeah.
right? Until you change, I can't heal.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
So what we end up doing with this energy that's stuck inside of us from those experiences in our past, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is I mean, we have thousands of ways that we do it, right? We we don't like this energy. So what do? We create
Yeah.
these stories that says, if you will just receive this energy and carry it for me, then I'll be free of it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
This is what we call codependency.
Mm.
Right? And we do it with our partners, we do it with our friends, we do it with our family members, we do it with our children, we can do it with just about anybody, right? Our coworkers, our bosses. Um, as long as you can receive this energy from me, right? We're actually saying this in the unconscious part of us, but when you receive my energy, then I can be free of it. Well, the problem is that the other person doesn't want that energy.
Yeah.
Or if they're the savior and the rescuer complex, right? Then they say that person, and I've been here before, right? As a therapist, I'm like, yeah, world, bring me all your energy and I will absorb it for you. Well,
Mm-hmm.
Jill, I mean, that's the formula for burnout right there,
Totally.
right?
Yeah.
So I can do it. I can do it for a little bit of time, but then I start to get burnt out. I start to get depressed, or I get angry,
Mm-hmm.
judgmental, um, resentful, bitter, and all those other sorts of things. And now all I'm doing is now I'm taking all this energy that I've absorbed from you, right? And I'm doing the same thing back to you, which says, I don't know what to do with this energy. So here, I'm giving it all back, but I'm adding some of my own crap to it too, right? And the
Yeah.
cycle continues. So again, coming back to this notion that all of us
Yes.
have these stuck energies, these negative energies that we don't know what to do with. And I've been around a lot of communities, and I've heard a lot of advice, and I've heard a lot of cliches, and people talk about releasing it, right? And I talk
Yeah.
about releasing it all this time too. And it's it's a nice thought, but the problem of it is that it doesn't have much meat behind it, right? It's
No.
basically like with a fabulous Thanksgiving meal menu,
Mm.
right? And organizing all the people and all the details, right? It's coming up with a nice formula, um, but then going from Wednesday to Friday and never actually getting to eat the meal,
Mm-hmm. True.
right? You don't actually do anything with it. You don't actually get to experience it, right? It's just in theory. So when we talk about releasing this energy, one of the phenomena that I've experienced is that temporarily we can release it.
Okay. Yeah.
As I talked about before, when we release it to other people, inevitably they end up sending it back, and if we're in relationship with them. Um, if in politics, for example, if the left says to the right, here, put our policies into place, they're really just giving their energy. And then eventually the cycle comes around and the right gives it right on back, right? And the whole cycle continues. So it's not very sustainable in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
Temporarily, temporarily we feel good because why? Because we think we've won. But really it's just we've temporarily taken our energy and put it on somebody else, right?
Yep.
Winners and losers, winners and losers, winners and losers. As Gandhi said, right? An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind.
Mm-hmm.
So we end up putting it, perhaps we end up putting that energy into our jobs and our success and our achievements and into how much money I can make. And if I could just make this amount of money, right? I'm putting my energy into all of that. But eventually, I don't know, the market crashes or something shifts or changes or we just discover, oh, wait a minute, now I'm a slave to that money and protecting
Yeah.
it and making sure nobody steals it from me, right? Um, whatever it is, we put our energy out into other things that can't handle and process it for us. And so inevitably it all comes back to us, right? In this vicious cycle in one way or another. And maybe we don't see it, but it's there. And so what do we do with that energy, right? That's the $90 million question here. And what I've discovered is that there's really just one of two places that we can actually put that energy.
Mm-hmm.
One is in the earth. Okay.
Yeah.
What do I mean by that? We hear a lot about grounding. We hear a lot about getting grounded, right? This is actually a big buzzword these days. But and there's certainly a lot of practices, right? Going for a hike, going for a walk, sitting on
Mm.
the earth, going to the beach, right? All these activities that we do, they are all just kind of unconscious ways that we actually are discharging energy, right? If you've ever been in an argument with your friend or your spouse or somebody, and you're telling another friend about it, and they're like, "Oh, sounds like you just need to take a break and cool off, right? Go for a
Mm-hmm.
walk." for a walk and cool off. Well, that's what we're actually doing there. We're actually grounding, right?
Okay.
Problem is that when we go for that grounding walk or do whatever it is that we do, maybe we go to the gym and we burn it off, right? Um, what we're doing is we're just discharging some of the emotional energy, right? And but we're not consciously giving it somewhere, right? We're
Mm-hmm.
just kind of pushing it out of our field for a little while, but inevitably we're not dealing with the beliefs and the thoughts and the values and so many of the paradigms that actually supported it coming in the first place,
So
right?
true. Yeah.
So so it's just that we're not doing enough of it, or it's not very efficient the way that we're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so when I talk about grounding into the earth, right? I have a very specific practice that I lead all of my folks through, and I want to share it with you here today,
Sure.
right? So if you'll just kind of go with me on this.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and the first part of this is to actually be able to kind of go inside yourself and to kind of find your tailbone.
Okay.
Find your tailbone and kind of, if you need to kind of wiggle your back, wiggle your backside into the chair or wherever you might be, and just kind of find a little bit of sensation there down low and like right around your tailbone, right?
Okay.
And especially just to envision stretching what we call your root chakra or your rooting energy center right down there at your tailbone. And start just visualizing kind of letting it drop down or being stretched down slowly, slowly, slowly down, 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 right into the earth, kind of like the root bulb of a new tree that you're planting. Okay. And as you do that, you plant it right in that hole in the ground for the tree bulb. It fits perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You cover it up with good nutrient rich soil, you add some water to that. And as soon as you do that, the taproot out of that root of you starts to grow, and it starts to grow all the way down through layers of soil, through layers of clay, through
Mm-hmm.
layers of sand, grows down into the bedrock where the bedrock crevices open just perfectly to allow your taproot to keep growing, 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 growing. And as it grows down, it goes down through layers of the upper crust, through aquifers and underground reservoirs, through layers of natural minerals and resources. It
Wow.
gets to the layers of magma, and anything that's not pure, that's not clean, just gets burnt
Mm-hmm.
off of it. But the taproot itself isn't affected by the magma.
Yeah.
In fact, it's warmed, right? And as it continues down, it goes all the way down to the center of the earth. And the center of the
Mm-hmm.
earth, the heart of our Mother Earth.
Yes.
Our taproot finds that mother, her
Mm-hmm.
heart, and wraps itself around her heart, inserts itself into her heart, and
Mm-hmm.
she receives every one of us because we are her children. We are in our flesh and blood, we are children of Mother Earth. And as we connect to our heart with our taproot like that, we can actually start to feel the pulse of her heart. And with our in breath, we draw up from Mother Earth's heart.
Okay.
We
Wow.
draw that up through that taproot, up into our root, up into our bodies. And we draw it up all the way up. And you can do this a few times and you can fill your whole body up with just so much love and tenderness and nutrients and clean, 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 clean energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nurtured mother love energy, if you will, the perfect mother. And as we get filled up with that energy from her heart, on our out breath, anything of emotion that's not aligned with that, any thoughts of what we have to do, should do, must do, any stories, any paradigms, any programs, any brainwashing, any values or belief systems that don't truly fit with that, right? Any stresses
Oof.
start to fall away on your out breath. You send it down again into that root bulb, down into the earth and through waste roots this time, not the taproot, but through waste roots surrounding the taproot, dispelling that energy, into the earth and allowing our Mother Earth to do her other job, right?
Mm-hmm.
Her first job is to nourish us. Her second job is, as I said last time, to compost all of our waste energy that we can't handle and that other people, as I was saying earlier, can't handle our energy. They're just going to send it back. Mother Earth will take all of that energy that we've never known what to do with. She
Ah,
will receive it willingly, lovingly, honorably, by which I mean she's grateful because
grateful. Yeah.
in giving her our energy, we are honoring that this is one of the functions she is built and meant to do. And if
Ah,
and if any of us have ever felt like I'm here and I'm doing what I'm meant to do, and other people go, yes, thank you for doing what you're meant to do. This is how our Mother Earth responds when we give her our energy. She does not take it on out of obligation. She does it because it's what she's meant to do.
yeah.
And we honor her by giving her our energy in that respect, right?
Ah,
And so with our in-breath, we draw in her nourishment, her gentle, tender, loving, powerful nourishment. And on our out-breath, we release anything that we don't know and can't know what to do with. Our emotions, our thoughts, our feelings, energies that we can't even name, thoughts that we can't even identify, right?
yeah.
And what we're left with in that place is a completely new paradigm, which says, whatever I've been thinking I had to process in terms of this energy,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to. I can
Yeah.
give it to her,
Mm,
right? I don't even have to know what it is all the time,
yeah.
right? I certainly don't have to be in the grind of years and years and years of exploring my childhood and processing my trauma and
Mm-hmm.
so on and so forth. I don't have to get stuck in a power struggle with my partner over getting my needs met, right? I don't have to, as I shared last week, I didn't need my father to really change anything,
Yeah.
right, for what I'd experienced with him. And in this way, I also experienced that I am no longer alone with this energy, right? Because so
Yeah.
much of my life experience has said, I I want to give it to somebody else, but every time I do, they keep sending it back. So therefore, I'm going to stop giving it to them. But that just makes me feel alone,
Yeah. Ah,
right? Which is what I meant last time, but and today when I said we like the power to release this does live within us, but we do not do it alone either, right? It's just we're completely bypassing the need for human beings,
hmm, yeah, really, we are.
right?
Ah, yeah.
And when that happens, when when we start, even when we start to do that, right? I start waking up in a whole new world where I can actually love and enjoy you and let you love and enjoy me
Mm-hmm.
because we're not in this codependent energy exchange power struggle anymore. Right?
Yeah.
I can I can celebrate your victories and not be envious or jealous of them.
Mm-hmm.
I can let you compliment me and I don't have to feel this obligation to immediately send a compliment back. Like if I
Yeah.
want to,
Mm-hmm.
sure, I'm free to, right? But I don't have to.
True.
So many of the shoulds and the have tos and the ought tos and the musts and the supposed tos just start falling away. And we come into, I want to, I will,
Mm-hmm.
right? And when I say thank you, it's actually a way of actually acknowledging not just thank you, but thank you, you're welcome. And this is something I'm going to follow up with next week in our next episode, right? Which is what if we were able to step into a world, again, having extracted some of this energy out of us, and we're able to step into a world where thank you and you're welcome is no longer just this kind of transaction, right?
Yeah.
Where where if I give something to you, you say thank you, and I say you're welcome, and then somehow it creates an obligation then in future time for that to be sort of transacted back, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if energetically it was all one and the same at the same time? So that as as I am giving anything to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the act of giving, I am also receiving energy back and it feels good and clean, right? This is, as I said, kind of a teaser for next time about,
Good. I love it.
and I'm going to be introducing kind of a new word that I've created that kind of encapsulates this energy of thank you, you're welcome, giving, receiving, not as being two separate things, but as being the same kind of energetic that we can step into.
Hmm. I'm excited. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Any questions or follow-ups as I was sharing that? I know that was kind of a long time of just me kind of putting a lot
But
out there.
that's awesome. That you have a lot to say and a lot of big words of wisdom out there. And I hope a lot of people can empathize and relate with this and understand because I
Yeah.
sure the heck did. And it's just like puts me in a different mood, a different genre for the day. Because sometimes I don't know, I just feel a lot of us we get lost in our own ways. You get depressed, you get stressed over the little things, and it's just so nice to hear someone like talk a little more positive, you know,
Yeah.
knowing that we can
Yeah.
do better, we can want, we can do, we deserve to be happy, and
Absolutely.
we can
Absolutely.
unprogram, reprogram. It's just, but we gotta want it. You gotta really want it, right? And you gotta
You're
work a little hard
absolutely
at
right.
it.
You're absolutely right. It does start with wanting it to be different.
Got it.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, we are out of time. Tell us how we
All right,
can
Jeff.
contact you, please. Thank you.
You're welcome. My website is www.embracingourwholeness.com, and you can reach me on Facebook at scottdavid.clift.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Pleasure having you back. Great conversation as always, and looking forward to next week.
Likewise.
Thank
All right,
you.
Jill. See you next time.
Bye
All
bye.
right, bye-bye now.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.